Welcome to Power Fridays Live, the channel that aims to make a difference in the world through transformation, spiritual growth, and for entrepreneurs. Our vision is to empower individuals to live their lives with purpose and to make a positive impact on the world. We believe that power and purpose are the driving forces behind success and fulfillment in both personal and professional life. Through our broadcast, we discuss business strategies and techniques that can help entrepreneurs achieve their goals and take their business to the next level. We believe that through sharing knowledge and experience, we can empower each other to succeed and make a difference in the world. Now here's our host, Janelle Pulley.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Financial Power Fridays Live. I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and tonight we are going to embark on a conversation about insurance is sexy. I am here all in my sequined outfit because insurance is sexy. So I am so excited to have this conversation with you tonight so that I can share with you some real life examples, basics of insurance, misconceptions about insurance, and how to find the right and choose the right insurance. So I know insurance is sometimes, not a good topic of conversation most often. But I am Janelle Pulley, your host of Financial Power Fridays Live. Welcome, welcome. Like, subscribe, follow. Please share this video with a friend. Please share the podcast, powerfridayslive.com. And we are here tonight. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to tackle this topic that you might find a little mundane and turn it into something exciting. It doesn't get enough love. Insurance doesn't get enough love. Yes, you heard me right. Insurance is sexy. Now, you might be, how can insurance be sexy? Well, I want you to stick around for this whole conversation because by the end of this episode, you'll see insurance in a whole new light. We'll explore how it protects our dreams, fuels our passions, and yes, even adds a little spice to our lives. So, now, without any further ado, I am so excited that you joined me this evening so that we can talk about insurance being sexy. I want to start with the basics about what is insurance? Well, you have it on your car, you have it on your home. Do you have it on your life? Other than your job, that is. The job insurance is great to have on your life insurance through your job. But do you have it on your life outside of work? That's where insurance gets sexy. It's more than just a safety net. It is peace of mind. I want us to have this conversation about insurance being sexy because I want you to just imagine having peace of mind knowing that your legacy, what you've built, what you've worked for all your life, all the hard work is going to pay off. It allows us to take risks, whether it's starting a new business, buying a home, or going on that dream vacation. And I do encourage you to have insurance too when you go on a vacation. That's important as well, so that you can protect yourself. Because heaven forbid, I took a cruise and they said, hey, we don't want you passing away on this foreign soil because there's a whole lot you got to go through to get the body back to America. Let me tell you, I have the insurance that has no problems, no worries. If I pass away in another country, there's one phone call that my husband has to make, and all will be well and sorted out with my body to bring me back to America and lay me down to my final resting place because I have that sexy insurance plan. Yes, I do. That will take care of me while I'm living and even if something happens to me on foreign soil. So, do you want to know more about it? Let me tell you more about that a little bit later. And of course, you have to connect with me in order to find out about all of this juicy stuff I'm sharing with you tonight. Yes, yes, yes. Want to say that I know that the title kind of caught you off guard. Okay, and it was meant to catch you off guard. But there's like a little voice in the back of your head talking about us, like, insurance. Uh, do I have? What about it? What about it? Do I need it? I don't have it. Can I afford it? I don't know. Is it expensive? I have an ill. That's it. I have an illness. You can't cover me. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Insurance gives you the freedom to pursue your passions without the constant fear of financial ruin. Even if you're not as healthy as you would like to be, that's okay. We can find a program that will work for you. And I want to talk about some real life examples where like insurance has played like a heroic role. And just imagine uh, Sarah, she launched her own bakery, right? A few months, a fire broke out. So I'm not sure at the result of her cooking. I'm not sure. But fortunately, Sarah had a comprehensive property insurance. Not only did it cover the damage, but it also helped her get back on her feet, ensuring that she could continue her passion for baking. And there's Tom. You know, he never leaves home without travel insurance. On a trip to Europe, he unexpectedly fell ill and had to cancel all of his flights. And instead of losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, his insurance covered the costs, allowing him to reschedule his adventures to Europe. Now, I know that these are two like, hey, I'm not a business owner or I'm not trying to travel out of the country right now. But it shows how insurance can be a lifeline, allowing people from setbacks and continue living their best lives now. Okay? So that's all we want because insurance is sexy. Yeah, I need to have some music playing. I sure do. I didn't think about music. We're going to get some music playing. But I want to take a step back and look at the evolution of insurance. Now, this concept, it dates back thousands of years, and basically, fast forward to today, we have a complex insurance industry designed to cater to every conceivable what the insurance company calls a risk. And insuring someone is a risk. Okay. Today, we're seeing innovative approaches like using basic insurance and the insurance tech startups that are making insurance more accessible and user friendly. There's a link to click now to get an insurance quote, and you do everything in the comfort of your own home. However, we want you to have a more personalized and a tailored benefit of insurance to your life. And so I'm going to address some common misconceptions about insurance because many people think insurance is too costly, but there are options for every budget, absolutely every budget, with the right research that I do for you, okay, and planning, we can find you coverage that suits your financial situation. Yeah, that's what I can do. I spend hours upon hours helping my people that I love, people who want to leave a love letter for their families, and find them the right product, the right option for their budget when it comes to insurance. Insurance is not for the old or the wealthy, for that matter. Yeah, another myth is that you have to wait to be a certain age and get old, and it's for wealthy individuals. But in reality, everyone can benefit from insurance, whether it's health insurance, your auto insurance, renter's insurance. It's about protecting what matters most to you. Now, my life is worth something. Okay. I did some research before I came on live because I wanted to have my ducks in a row. And I learned on thinkadvisor.com. This is where I got my information because I'm going to let you know. Whitney Houston singer extraordinaire, making millions of dollars per concert, passed away with less than $1 million worth of life insurance. Can you believe it? Insurance on her, I would have thought she would have had 5, 6, $10 million on her life. However, that result was less than a $500,000 worth of life insurance that went to her loved ones. I was devastated when I saw that. I was like, Whitney? Yeah, Whitney. But on to better conversations. It's the fun side of insurance. And, we're going to have a little fun tonight because who says insurance can't be fun? I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and we are here talking about insurance is sexy because, yes, it is. And we're going to take a quick break right now and come back and let you know because September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, and we want to make sure that you have and the right knowledge, the proper coverage, and knowing that insurance is indeed for you and sexy. You're sexy. Yes. Look at yourself in the mirror. Yes, you are. And we're back. That was quick, wasn't it? And I'm just so excited to have you with me tonight on Financial Power Fridays Live, where our topic tonight is insurance is sexy. But I have a little quiz for you because I want to have a little fun. I'll ask you a few questions and I want you to think about your answers and put it in the chat. Put it in the chat and let me know. Do you have a pet? And is your pet insured? Did you know you can get insurance on your pet? And that's one question. Pet insurance. Yeah, your loved ones, your babies, pets. Yeah, they can be insured. But imagine if they were in a car accident. Does a car accident cover your pet getting hurt in a car? Have you ever thought about that? You having bodily injury in a car, and then you have your dog or cat in there, and then you're in an accident, and then something happens, and then how do you know if they break a bone or if they're feeling well, if they need an adjustment? That's important. Does your car insurance cover your dog or cat being in the car with you? Yeah, something to think about, huh? And have you ever thought about life insurance as a way to invest in your future? Tax free retirement is an opportunity for you right now to retire tax free with insurance. I have my baby set up already. When she was out the womb, that's the first thing we did. We got insurance and we got her some tax free retirement started at 0 years old. Okay, 0 years old. We got her some life insurance so that she can retire tax free. So we can just sock money away in this product and keep it moving for her. If she wants to go buy a house, she can use some of the money for the proceeds of the cash value towards putting a good down payment on a nice home. So we're thinking about her future. We're thinking about planning. We're thinking about her legacy. Starting today at 0 years old. And I know you may not be 0 years old. You may know someone who is, but what is the weirdest type of insurance that you can think of? I know a lot of people are like looking at the NFL, the NBA players, and they insure their limbs, they can insure bodies. Some people, can you insure your voice? What's the weirdest type of insurance you can think of? Put it in the chat. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Put the comment in the chat. What is the weirdest type of insurance? I'm going to put all three of these questions, in the chat so you can answer them and you can just let me know. Okay, when you get a chance. I want some engagement. I want some feedback. Let me know. Thanks so much for being online tonight. Thank you so much for joining. But I want to discuss these options with you. So let me know. But I want to get practical tonight and ask you, how do you choose the right insurance for your needs? How do you choose the right insurance for your needs? That's another question I want you to ask yourself. First, I want to see, how much am I worth? If I pass away tomorrow, I want my husband and my baby to have $1 million in the bank. Cash, tax free income. You don't have to pay no taxes on a life insurance policy proceed. Okay. Assess your risks. Think about what risks that you face in your life. I'm that person who can help you research the providers and look for companies with good reviews, good ratings, and good customer service because that's what we want. We want something that someone else has that we want to make sure that it's good. And trust and believe, I only work with the best of the best. I make sure you read the fine print. I make sure you know, hey, you're paying this much money for the policy, but you're paying this much money for the fees because a wealth killer, when it comes to your money, is fees. Okay. So I want you to know that up front. Okay. These are the fees associated with this because I don't want you having it and then you finding out, hey, it wasn't all what it cracked up to be because I'm paying a lot of money and then I don't see my cash value and then you didn't tell me that I was have to pay for this and pay for that, and this was where it happened to my money. No, I don't do that. I only work with the best of the best because I want you to be able to navigate your options. I want you to be able to navigate your options. Okay, it's very important for you to navigate your options. So I want you to see that insurance is not boring. Insurance is fun. Insurance is sexy. It's a powerful tool that can help you live your life to the fullest. It's a powerful tool. I had a friend who was diagnosed with cancer, and they had a life insurance policy with living benefits. And guess what? They got a check. They got a check, went on a cruise trip with family, had memories, had an opportunity to have memories. But they survived. They still living, and that's a good thing. But still, getting a check and being able to have memories and do the things that you never thought was possible because you've been diagnosed with saying, "Hey, you have the big C." We want you to have insurance before something bad happens like that because we never know the day. We don't know the hour. It's written in the word. We don't know the day nor the hour. So I want you to know that it is a powerful tool that can help you live your life to the fullest. And it's about security, it's about freedom. And yes, it's even a little bit sexy. Okay. So we are going to have that price of freedom right now. What's your price?
Price of freedom can never be bought. Life experience is how it's taught. Price of freedom can never be bought. Life experience is how it's taught. Freedom is too expensive for anyone to buy, and yet there are many who always try.
Hi, welcome to Financial Power Fridays Live. I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and I'm so excited that you've embarked upon and joined me tonight on a Friday night with the topic Insurance is Sexy. I wanted you to know yes, insurance can be sexy because it comes with a price and it pays very good dividends. Let me tell you. I've had to use insurance in different ways. Health insurance, number one, okay, because health insurance has to keep you healthy. How else are you going to keep you sexy if you're not going to be kept healthy? And car insurance. Whenever I needed it, I had it. A drunk driver rear-ended me, and I was left hurt, headache. I was for days on end. Well, I had insurance and to get me back to my sexy self. And if I did not have insurance and didn't have the proper type of insurance for my car, then it couldn't have been repaired and I would have not been able to recover fully and get rehabilitated, which was very good. So, I want to let you know about practical uses for insurance. And recently, I know a friend of mine had a little baby, which is a baby puppy, the litter, okay, and they wanted insurance on their pets. there is an opportunity to have pet insurance. So, we're not here just talking about life insurance, but I do want you to know there's different types of life insurance. There's term life, which is like renting insurance. It's like having insurance for the time that you're paying for it. So if you're like 20 years old and you get 30 years of term life insurance at a inexpensive rate and like $250,000 or $500,000, but you're paying just a little bit of money for it, that's great. That's wonderful. But what if you live beyond that 30 years? What if you're 20, you live another 50, 30 years, and you're 50 years old now? Nothing happened. So you never got a chance to for your beneficiary to collect because, of course, passing away, you don't collect your own beneficiary money. But if you had a policy that took care of you while you're still living and say, heaven forbid, 45 years old, heart attack, happened or something happened where you couldn't take care of your basic needs, there's a life insurance policy out there that can send you a check, give you money out from the policy, and still keep a death benefit for your family in place. That's proper planning. That's you having the love letter written to yourself and saying, hey, I care enough about me, I care enough about myself to have this in place for myself and my family. Because if I didn't have any children and I wasn't married and I got old, no kids to take care of me, then I end up in a nursing home, guess how much that's going to cost? It's not a sexy number, let me tell you. The number is about 4 to 5, 6, $10,000 a month. And a good one, you're going to pay about upward of 6,000 plus a month. So imagine how much income you're getting on a monthly basis now. You're going to that's going to go out the window to a nursing home to take care of you. And that's just the reality of the situation. But why not have a life insurance policy that's going to take care of it? Transfer that to someone else, which is the insurance company. They can afford it. They can afford it. Trust me, they can afford it. So that's the importance of long term care insurance. That's what that's called, long term care insurance, because you're going to live for the long term. I know it. You're taking care of yourself. You're healthy. You're doing all the right things. You're eating all the right foods because you keeping your sexy. You keeping your sexy. Yes, you are. And your life is important. Okay. So I want to share that with you to let you know that there are different options. There's different types. And the best thing about all of this conversation about insurance being sexy is that you can afford it. Yes, you can afford to be sexy. You wear it well. Just look at yourself in the mirror. It's self-care awareness month. It's self-care month, self-management care, month for September. So we want to make sure that you take very good care of yourself with your body, with your mind, with everything that you do on a daily basis. Look in the mirror. Be self-full, like Alan Van Zant said. Be self-full. Fill your cup. The overflow is going to someone else, but make sure that you care for yourself and you care enough to love yourself enough to have a love letter for your family, which could be a life insurance policy. And that is super sexy because I know what it is for a family member to pass away without life insurance firsthand. It's not a good feeling. It's not any, it's a bad feeling. Honestly, it's truly a bad feeling. There's nothing sexy about it. And it's a lot of work that goes into dealing with funeral homes. I've actually went and interviewed a funeral home. Yeah, because I want to interview the person that's going to be looking at my body, and I want to know what their process is. And I found out with a company, and I'm interviewing them because I've got to give them my money. My family has to give them my money upon my passing. So I want to know who's going to be looking at this lady, myself, if something happened to me. And so I interviewed at a funeral home, and I know it's crazy, but it was very important to me to think about. It's like, wonder who this undertaker is that's going to be taking care of me and my passing. And it was very important for me to go through that process to find out that how that I would be cared for even at that time, how my family would be cared for, because it is very important for them not to just get that insurance check and just treat me any kind of way. I want them to make sure that my family is taken care of beyond the grave. Okay? So, that is what I wanted to share with you tonight, and I will be right back.
September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. There has been a great deal of uncertainty this year. Have you reviewed your life insurance policy? If not, there is probably an upgrade available where you can save money, keep it safe, and have tax advantages. Or do you not have any coverage due to a layoff or job loss? We are here to help solve this problem for you and your family. Think about your needs to cover burial and final expenses, replace lost wages income from your job, nursing home/long-term care, or even transfer wealth or leave an inheritance to your loved ones. Would you like to see if there is an upgrade available for you and your family if you had a health issue? Let's see if we can provide you and your family peace of mind. Schedule a free no-obligation consultation today. Learn how the numbers work for you. Call Janelle Borzotra at 404-689-8441 or visit www.thewealthygap.info.
Hi, welcome to Financial Power Fridays Live. I am Janelle Pulley, and I am so happy to be with you tonight and talk about insurance is sexy. We are about to close out because I want to just share with you about some unfortunate life insurance decisions made by some celebrities. And thinkadvisor.com is where I got this information, just so I can make sure all y'all know out there in social media land, I'm not making this up. There's this Heath Ledger. I don't know who he was, but his name is in the article. Back in 2008, he was an actor. Yeah, he was an actor. I'm not sure how good he was because he passed away at 27 years old due to a drug overdose. He had $10 million worth of life insurance for his daughter Matilda. Complications arose because they failed to disclose information on his application about a speeding ticket and recreational drug use. And after his death, the insurance company attempted to deny part of the claim, leading to a legal battle that eventually settled out of court. This man, 27 years old, thought enough of himself to have $10 million worth of life insurance on himself at 27. Okay. What about you? You deserve the best. $10 million worth of life insurance. And I also want to mention, of course, Michael Jackson just had a birthday last month in August. We're both um, born a month apart. And I really love him as a talent. I love him as a person, but he was 50 years old when he was preparing for his comeback tour. Half a hundred. But he left behind 3 children, but had not fully funded his trust. Of course, you can get a life insurance and have it prepared in a trust. And it wasn't fully funded at the time of his passing. And his estate, of course, had legal battles where you're paying out all this money to lawyers, attorneys, courts, but he had reportedly life insurance upwards of $20 million. Okay. But it only ultimately settled for only like $3 million. Okay. And I just wanted to share with you that Michael Jackson had his business handled. I love it because he was sexy. He was one sexy man that had his business handled. And he basically knew about estate planning. Part of insurance being sexy is planning for your estate. And then there's this comedian called Lenny Bruce. He was controversial, yeah, but he struggled with financial issues and addiction throughout his life. And he didn't get a life insurance policy that could have provided for his daughter, but he left him with little support. And of course, I already talked about Whitney. She only had $312,000 worth of life insurance. And Corey Haim, he's another actor. He rose to fame in the 80s. I know I'm dating, aging, all of that. But he passed away young, at 38 years old from pneumonia. Okay. Pneumonia, he passed away. But he left behind at 38 years old no assets, no life insurance. And If these people had secured the policy or the right amount of money for a policy, and even with Michael Jackson's situation, fully funding his insurance policy for his estate, life would be different for his family and everyone's family that I've mentioned. I want you to know I don't want you to wait. I would like for you to secure adequate life insurance today. Yes, I'm asking you to protect your family. Like all of the people who may have passed away wish that they did or could have or knew about the way that they could protect their family. You know now, please share this message with someone that is in need or that you just ask them, hey, do you have some life insurance? Because it's very important for this to happen. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm so happy because I'm in my sequins. I'm wearing my sequins and hey, uh-oh. Let's see. Hey, Yolanda, how are you?
I'm good, Janelle. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was getting ready to close out, girl, because I
Oh
had a
no, no,
conversation
no.
about insurance being sexy, and it's been a fun conversation with me talking with some people have been in and out the room, and I'm sharing the why insurance is sexy, the different ways to use life insurance, the different ways to use car insurance, home insurance, all of the insurance actually. So how was your day today?
My day was pretty good, Janelle. Pretty good. I cannot complain at all. I will be with you in a moment. I am just transitioning,
Okay. Well, we want people to
and you look lovely.
Thank you. Oh, so do you. Ah, look at
Thank you.
you. Sexy
Hey,
mama.
listen. I heard there was a grown and sexy something going on tonight.
Definitely, definitely. You see, I'm in my sequins. I got my sequins. Yes, definitely. You look lovely.
Hey, I don't know if
And
you can see all I got, but
uh,
thank you.
yes, yes, it's gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining
You know how
tonight.
we do.
Yes, Friday night, we're going to have some fun, make it all right here on Financial Power Fridays Live.
All right.
So we are fighting
Let's rock
against
and roll.
poverty,
So you
and
look lovely.
thank you. And I do appreciate you being here tonight. And I have talked about insurance being sexy, my life. I shared with the audience about some celebrities passing away with not enough life insurance or with some life insurance, but you thought that they would have had more of it. Whitney Houston passed away with $312,000 worth of life insurance. She used to do concerts for $1 million a show and had less than $1 million on her life.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I
Yeah, and you know what? And it gets messy. We assume that a lot of these celebrities have it together. Even with Aretha Franklin and so many other people in their estates, we find that they did not have it together. And a lot of times it's a wake up call for us. But listen, tonight is a turnaround, right?
Tonight we're
So
gonna turn it
you ready to
around, flip it upside down.
that's it. So listen, your topic tonight is insurance is sexy. I need to stay on that for just 1 minute, if
Yes,
you don't
yes, yes.
mind.
I do not mind at all.
So I would just like to ponder for a few moments. What does sexy look like? What is sexy? So, Miss Janelle, what would you say sexy is? What does it look like for you?
Sexy is the epitome of love for
Mm,
yourself, your body, your soul, and your mind. The epitome of
mm.
love. That is sexy to me.
I would agree. I would say confidence is sexy,
Yes,
right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more, like what makes us confident in life. But I would absolutely say confidence is sexy. And
yes.
I would also have to say putting on that special something that you like that makes you feel good and turning it up a little bit, like I see you've done tonight. So yeah, let's talk about that. I'm loving your lipstick and everything, girl. You're glowing.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
glowing. And it's
Yes,
important that we feel good, in our skin
September is
and
self
in our
care.
wallets.
Yes, definitely. And September is self care month, self care awareness month. And who better to
Okay,
take
so
care of ourselves than ourselves, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. So, Janelle, I joined the party just a few minutes late, and I know you said you were talking with the folks for a little bit. But I just want to kind of jump in and just start having some conversation around this whole insurance is sexy. All right. Because it's something I've been looking forward to all week long. I had to find the
And
just right thing to wear. All right. I wasn't quite sure. I felt like I was coming to a party tonight. All right. And I want to talk to you a little bit before we sign off because I just had an idea that I think would just be so hot. And I just want to
yes.
kind of throw it out there and have you be the first person to do it. But let's talk about, let's take a little bit of time and talk about wealth building. Your expertise is insurance, right? And when we talk about insurance, a lot of times we just think life insurance. A lot of times we only get what our employer provides. So, talk a little bit about how life insurance or any other form of insurance can help a family or individual or couples to build wealth. We're talking about insurance is sexy. So, this might be a married couple or someone who's considering, two people that are considering being married. How do they keep it sexy when it comes to that insurance? And how do they build wealth for their families?
Well, that's a very great question, Yolanda, and I'm so glad that you asked. And with a couple, newlyweds and money in my specialty, it is important for people to love one another first and love one another enough to have insurance on their spouse. In
Mm,
true story, the family, husband and wife, had 3 children. The wife dies all of a sudden. She was a stay-at-home mom. They had gotten $1 million worth of life insurance. And they loved one another enough because now she just set her husband up with a tax-free income for $1 million to take care of himself and the 3 children. Building wealth is
mm,
very important because he received that check for tax-free. And now he's able to not ask money from people, strangers, family, to set up a fund for his all 3 children to go to college. He has enough money to do that. $1 million can go a long way. And it's very important that they thought about that, not knowing, because we don't know the day nor the hour when Jesus gonna come call us home, when God calls us home, right? But that is what love is. To say to that your loved one, saying, hey, you love me enough to make sure that I'm taken care of while you're living and beyond the grave. That's love.
yeah. Yeah. And it sure is. Listen, I'm going to just say it damn sure is sexy. Okay. To know that you're with someone who is thinking about your future, right? Not just while we're together, but should I go or should you go? I know that you're going to be okay. Right?
Yeah.
So I love it. Now, when we hear $1 million policy or $1 million, sometimes we think that's out of our reach. How would someone go about doing that? How would that family or that couple go about doing that? Sometimes people think you have to have $1 million to get to the millions. Let's talk about that for a little bit.
Yes. Well, sometimes you want to look at your income. And I share with everyone, if you are working a regular job or if you're self-employed and you're a business owner, do have your income times 10, multiply it times 10. You're going to come up with a figure. Now, if you're making
Mm.
$100,000 times 10, I think is that my math right? Is my mathing? Is that $1 million?
Your math is usually on point. So I'll
if,
accept it.
if if you're making $50,000 a year times 10, that's $500,000 if my math is mathing, right? So you want to take that amount of money times 10, and that's how much money that you can afford to have in life insurance. And when I say you can afford to have, it means that you would want to have that amount for your loved one. And i- the budgeting, we find, and I do the research myself, and I find insurance companies to work with me, to work with the person, to say, hey, will you insure this person, will you take on this risk? They have an ailment, they have high blood pressure, they have diabetes, they've been hospitalized. Will you take on this risk? A lot of people don't know, whenever they go to get insurance, the insurance carrier has to approve them. So therefore, it's not about you just wanting insurance from a certain place. It's that place wanting you to be one of their customers. So it works both ways. It doesn't, work just one way to be like, oh yeah, I want insurance with this company. But I research the information, I do my due diligence, I find a company that's going to take on the risk of a person, no matter what their health condition is, and to make sure that they're properly covered. I've insured people who could legally still sign their signature, even though, you could tell there was a little thing, something going on, but they could legally sign their
Right.
signature and get life insurance before something worse happened. And they lived, that minimum 2 years, and that the life insurance paid out to their loved ones and the funeral home to take care of them. So it's just really important to get it early. Like I was sharing earlier, I got my baby some life insurance, and if she comes up with any ailment at any point in time of her life, heaven forbid that happens, we're going to cross it out, okay? That she will still have life insurance coverage. She'll still be able to be eligible to be covered, because we thought about it when she was 0 years old. And she we're building right now a policy for her to have for her lifetime.
Janelle, what does that policy look like?
It looks like whole life insurance initially, because she's going to have it her
Okay.
whole life. It's not going to be just for 20 years, 30 years. It's going to be her whole life. So that's what it looks like. It builds a little bit of cash value, not a whole lot of money that's in it to tie it to the market, but there is another policy out there that is tied to the market, where it based on the activity of the market, the ups and downs, like the EKG, that it will pay out. I
Right.
think the market's averaging around 8% on average in the last 10, 20 years. If you looked at rounding it all together, with all of the different markets in the United States and the international markets, it's around, 8 to 10% on average a year. And when you pull it all together, the high, ups and downs, that this policy will accumulate cash, compound interest on a
Hmm.
daily basis. And she would be able to get proceeds from that and use it at any other point in her life to get a house, buy a car, whatever her needs may be. And if she never touches it, she'll have $1 million in the next 20, 30, 40 years, depending on how we put money into it, because we don't want to overdo it and we don't want to underdo it either. So there's rules to this game. There's specific rules with these life insurance companies too, to where you can only put so much in certain amounts of policies. And so we want to make sure we, go by the rules. We follow the rules, and that's the other important piece. But she'll have insurability, her entire life. So we're really happy that we get started early while she's young and healthy, and because you just never know where your health may take a turn.
You never know. I want to, I'm going to stay on a insurance is sexy piece, right? When you're
Yeah.
young, you look at someone, they're so cute or they're so sexy, and it's different things you're looking at, right? And as you get older in life, and not old, but as you begin to mature, that sexy starts to look like something different, right? So you're not necessarily looking at the person as baby, you look so good. You're looking at that person that has their stuff together and is really looking to build that future. That's what sexy begins to look like. But can you talk to us a little bit about different innovative insurance products that are out there in addition to life insurance? Are there any other things that are out there that are more innovative that people can look into?
Hmm. Well, I would say an annuity is another insurance product that a person can look into, and that is to plan your own pension, basically, in a sense. You're
Hmm.
planning your own pension, and a person with a life insurance license can sell an annuity, a life insurance product, and also there is an insurance product with living benefits. With living benefits, and when I say with living benefits, that means that you can collect on the proceeds from the life insurance company while you're living if something were to happen. If there was a chronic or critical illness that occurred in your life, then there's a portion of that insurance face amount that would be paid out to you while you are still living. So it's called insurance with living benefits. And then I mentioned earlier, the other policy is called an index universal life policy, and that is where a person can have life insurance in place but have a tax-free income after so many years. They can start getting a check from the life insurance company and their retirement age, and it pays them a tax-free retirement. So there's different
Hmm.
ways that an insurance policy can be designed, and it's designed to meet your unique needs of what you desire the most and what your goals are. So everyone's at a different point in their life. Everyone has different goals. Everyone's sexy is different at different times in their life. And, we just want to make sure that it's not about getting your sexy back, it's about keeping your sexy intact.
Keeping it, keeping it.
Yes.
Mm. Come on now. I could always count on you to share them jewels. All right.
Yes.
So, I got a scarf on. It's a little shawl, but when I walk out of here, I'm going to have some jewelry on my neck. All right. Because you're just dropping science and really sharing some wonderful jewels. So, being an entrepreneur, as you are, and as I am, let's have a little conversation around entrepreneurship. How do business owners build leverage with policies for not only their businesses but for their families? A lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, you may not always be aware of what's available, and businesses, especially startups, small or medium-sized businesses, in the back of your mind, you're sometimes thinking about what if a disaster hits. How is my family secure? Because we're used to that traditional 9 to 5. We think that's the only way we can find security, and that ain't sexy. So
Mm-mm.
let's talk about how business owners can leverage for themselves with policies.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, being a business owner, you're going to have that ride or die, are you not, in your business?
Mm,
That person's your ace. That person you can count on, opening the door and closing the door
absolutely.
whenever you're there or not there. You know business is going to be handled with that person, that key person in your business. And there's this product called a key business insurance. So you want to insure that key person. And let me tell you, Walmart, I got to call that name out. Yes, Walmart. They insure their employees. Okay? Certain levels. They're key business
Mm,
employees. If Walmart doesn't, why can't you as an entrepreneur do it? And
mm.
yeah, when I read that article in the Wall Street Journal, and this woman didn't have life insurance on her husband, and Walmart had a policy on him, and Walmart, yeah, did that, collected tax-free income, okay, on their employee. And but it's called
Oh
Key Business
wow.
Insurance. Yeah, it's called Key Business Insurance, and that's what you want to have on your business partner or the person in your business that hey, if I were to pass away and I want to leave the keys to this kingdom to someone else, this person has it. Let me leave them with money to continue to run my business. Just happened last month. A beauty store, black owned, in Riverdale, Georgia. I don't know the name of it, but it was reported
Mhm.
that the son or daughter, I don't know exactly, had their parent passed away, and their parent ran the business, but they were in debt and got evicted. You had beauty supplies
Mm,
all along the parking lot. The police was out there saying nobody can touch it, and they sent it to the landfill
mm.
because that loved one
Oh,
passed away.
I don't know if Janelle dropped out a little bit. All right, if you guys are live with us, just hang tight. Our presenter, our entrepreneur may have hit a little malfunction, but she will be right back. She is an expert at troubleshooting. I hope that you all are enjoying our Insurance is Sexy conversation. And start thinking about things that you can do for yourself, for your family, and have those grown and sexy conversations with your significant other or that person that you're looking to build something serious with. We talk about all sorts of things, and these are some conversations that we need to have as well. Janelle, are you back with us? All right, I'm not quite sure what's happening. So, one of the things I wanted to propose to Janelle, and hopefully you all will take heed on this idea. But for Valentine's Day, we often give a lot of gifts, and it's romantic, it's sexy, it's fun, it's whatever you want it to be. But I'm going to propose that if you're hosting something, let's turn that grown and sexy into a little something different. Host a Valentine's Day something at your house, rent out a little spot and have some friends come through. Dress up, get sexy, get cute, be romantic, but do something around insurance. Mm, now that's sexy for you, right? And that's a little bit different. Get dressed up, talk about insurance, have someone like a Janelle Pulley come in and present, right? You can still have your romantic meal, you can have your drinks, keep it sexy. All right. So think about doing something like that. And just hang tight for 1 second. I think my partner's trying to reach me, and I think she's back with us. Janelle, it's all good. Don't you
Hey,
worry. I just kind of
thank
threw
you.
out a little idea about folks hosting a Valentine's Day something, grown and sexy, but having some insurance tied around it. But we'll talk a little
Yes,
bit more about that later. So I'm glad you're back.
me
And I
too.
wanted
Somebody
to,
didn't want me to tell that
yeah,
story. Somebody
somebody
didn't want
didn't
me to
want you
tell
to
that
tell
story.
it,
So it's like,
girl. But you
tell
know
it,
what?
tell it.
Those are the secrets that we keep, and that is why we stay uninformed and ignorant, because we won't tell the stories. We turn the stories into secrets,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't
Yes.
benefit anybody. We have to
No.
tell the story so that somebody else can learn. And that's what I love about you. So now, if somebody wanted to reach out to Janelle Pulley for more information, because you are an entrepreneur, this is your business, how can they
Yes.
reach you?
Yes. So the best way to reach me is, of course, my phone number. And I'm gonna show it at the bottom. 404-689-8441. That's the best way to reach me, through my phone number. DM me through the social media and through the chat, and I will definitely call you back. I can definitely communicate. Someone texted me the other night. They had a lot of questions that they had about insurance, and 4 kids, no life insurance, and had
Mm.
bought some artwork. And I'm just like, they weren't concerned more about insuring the artwork than they were their life. They want to make sure this artwork was insured.
Sometimes,
So
you know what? Sometimes we don't
priorities.
know and we chuckle.
Yes.
We chuckle and we're not laughing at anyone. We're just
No,
chuckling
not at all.
over the situation because we all have either experienced it directly at a certain point or someone in our family has. And we can chuckle because you're here tonight empowering people so they could turn that story around and recreate their own narrative, right?
Yes. I was like, yes.
So, Janelle,
He had artwork and wanted to insure
what
that.
about someone who thinks it's too late to get
Well, it's never too
Go
late
ahead,
to get
sis. We
life
have a little
insurance.
lag. You go ahead.
It's never too late to get life insurance until you're gone, right? That's when it's too late. It's when you're already gone to get life insurance. You can't get insurance after you're passed away. And we can insure people up to 85 years of age. Some companies will accept the insurance to insure
Wow,
someone up to
wow.
age 90, but it just depends. However, if you make it to 80 and you make it to 90, I say you are sexy as all get out to have lived that strong life. And if you
Mm-hmm.
saved your money, you may not need a life insurance. You may not need it, and it isn't for everyone. And I want to say that it's not, if you have money in the bank to take care of you in your final hour, that's wonderful, perfect, Jim Dandy. However, if you have loved ones to where you want to make sure that your house is still going to stay in the family, if you want to make sure certain things are already going to be set in place to where you're going to make sure that your legacy is going to live forever, then I would say yes, please have life insurance and make sure that your loved ones are taken care of for at least 10 years of beyond your lifetime, because it makes a difference. Because I can never forget, my sister passed away. Her youngest was 9 going on 10 years old. And if 10 years, if she had life insurance to take care of her children for that next 10 years, then of course the child was an adult in 8 years, right? So at least 10 years. So if you have a young child and you have someone that's really young, then you want to make sure that you close that gap. You close that gap
Mm.
when it comes to having the proper coverage for your family and for your loved ones, because there's that gap with you not being there physically, and then there's that gap with you not being there financially. So it's a double whammy. But we want you to know
Yeah, I
that,
love the word
yeah,
that you use. Sis, I love the word that you use, legacy. That's critical. Money in the bank doesn't get it anymore. That's the old way of doing it. You have money in the bank, but you have to also have other ways that you're securing yourself. So, I always love spending time with you, right? As my sister. We talk about all kind of things, family, life, love, kids. But when you start speaking insurance and finances, I'm always captivated. Um, there was something else I wanted to talk about, right? We're talking insurance is sexy. Let's talk about, you mentioned something earlier, right? Self-love, self-care. You said it's self-care awareness month or whatever it might
yes,
be.
yes,
Let's talk
September.
about the fact that at least in the black and brown community, sometimes we are not doing the best thing by ourselves in regards to health. I just got a gym membership because I got some work I have to do, right? So when we talk about
Yes,
sexy, it's also the physical. It's also the physical. You have to
yes,
take care of your body, so you can be sexy. And,
yes,
sometimes we don't eat the right thing, we don't work out, and it shows. So let's talk about that for a minute too, right? You look good, you feel good, your clothes look sexy on you, and
yes.
that insurance policy speaks differently when you are in good health, right or wrong.
Yes, 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 yes. That insurance policy, it looks good on you when you're in good health, because your premiums are going to be less when you're in good health and getting coverage. Versus if you do have an ailment, the coverage is going to be more, because the insurance company looks at how healthy a person is in addition to their age, to know whether or not they want to, number one, accept the risk at all, and or accept the risk at what cost for that for that consumer.
Mm,
And so, not only that's what I was sharing earlier, that you get to choose the insurance company, but the insurance company really is choosing you. And that is the piece that
mm,
I do the research to find out, well, what insurance company is going to like this person enough to make sure that they can get coverage with that high blood pressure, or with the diabetes, or with having had a heart been hospitalized for a heart attack, but now they doing better, and it's been some years that they have beat cancer, and it's been some years. What insurance company is going to actually take on that risk? And I was just talking to a friend of mine
mm.
the other day. He's to Tomorrow is his birthday. He'll be 65 plus years old. He's over 65. And he fell and broke his foot in his home. And I was like, oh my
Wow.
gosh. I was like, do you still have the life insurance policy? He says, I sure do. But guess what? The
Mm.
person who's the beneficiary, he wants to change it. And he's been wanting to change the beneficiary for years. It's the ex-girlfriend that is the
Oh,
beneficiary.
wow.
So yes, so that's what I tell you,
How'd that
that
work out?
also
Well, don't you don't have
that
to tell it.
right, that I'm telling it that you need to check your beneficiaries on your life insurance policies to make sure it's someone that you still
Mm-hmm.
love to get the money. But if she
Mm.
passes away, he loved
Mm.
her, right? He still loves her because he hasn't done anything about taking her name off from being the beneficiary. But she's not, she don't even know it. She doesn't know it. And so it'll be interesting if he never changes it. And then I get to call her up and say, hey, girl, guess what? Our buddy's gone and he left you a little something. But that's another thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to leave to update your beneficiaries and make sure the who you want to have the tax-free income is the person you still want to have the tax-free income.
You know what? The reality is a lot of times we get policies and we put down a beneficiary and we don't look back. Sometimes it's not even that, well, I still love this person. I never took the time to look back and make adjustments. As life changes and life adjusts, you have to make those adjustments as well. I go back to when you said it's also the insurance company selecting you, right? And if we're talking
Mhm.
about insurance is sexy, let's look at the dating process, right? Sometimes we say
Mhm.
we want this, but we have to ask ourselves, are you what you're looking for? Right? You want someone that has
Yes.
all these qualities, but do you have those qualities that you want? So it's the same thing with insurance companies. You want a great policy, but does that policy want you? Do you have what that policy is looking for? Come on now. We're talking about
Mm.
insurance is sexy. Let's
Yes.
talk about it.
Yes,
So
yes.
it
Mhm.
goes hand in hand. It goes
It
hand in
does.
hand, right? You have to be what you want. And if you want this in a partner, you need to be it. If you want this in insurance policy, you need to be what that policy calls for so you can get the best.
Yes. Yes.
I said
Ah,
it. I
say
said it.
that. Say that. Say that. Say that. Ha ha.
I said it.
Yes.
I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to me too.
I
All right.
know. Yes, because
Let's talk for real now.
it is so important to think it in those terms. And a lot of people may think
Right.
that, hey, it's not for me, and that person may not be for you. And that insurance company will let you
Right.
know, hey, you're not for us. Because one of the things I found out, the insurance company won't take a person if they have a DUI or if they have a license that's been suspended or a
Mm.
felony. I say, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So they care about who they are going to be, who's going to sign the bottom line, who they're going to be signing over a check to, and who's signing over a check to them. They care if that person's been incarcerated. They care if that person, has had a DUI. They care if that person has a suspended driver's license, and they don't want them. Those are
Wow.
just top three that I can tell you of why an insurance company doesn't wouldn't want you.
Right. Janelle, let me ask you a question. So, for someone who may have some medical conditions or, things that may be a deterrent for them getting the ideal policy, I know they may have to pay higher premiums. Some people may be discouraged by that. I have a friend, and he was struggling to get a policy. He was extremely overweight, and he had a few things going on, and he couldn't get insurance for quite a while. And he was, very concerned. He eventually was able to get a policy. I didn't ask the business, as far as what he's paying, but I know that you have to pay more if you're not meeting the criteria. And for some people, that may be discouraging. Would you still encourage people to get a policy regardless? And can they
Actually,
get a policy that will allow them to build wealth?
Actually, that's a very good question. And what I would find out first is his purpose for the policy. The purpose for the policy. What's your purpose
Mm,
for the policy? If his purpose for the policy is to just take care of the final expenses, there's two ways to go about it and laying him to rest in a good place, right? He can go straight to the funeral home, sign, do the paperwork at the funeral home, pay them the money directly. They're going to put the package together. He's going to tell them all of what he wants, what kind of casket he wants, and all the bells and whistles, who he wants to, be at the funeral and all that good stuff. He can do it that way, right? And that's one way.
mm-hmm,
And the second way, I would say, even though he has those health challenges, of course, get into some type of program to do something about it. However, if
mm-hmm,
it's so severe, then he can save that money that he would think he would want to pay to an insurance policy based on his parameters, even if he doesn't qualify. Say he doesn't
mm-hmm.
qualify, but that person says, because you're this age, because, and if you, with no overweight and height and all that aside, this is how much if you are a healthy person, this is how much your insurance policy would be. He would have to have the discipline to put that money in an account onto the side and save it himself. But the only thing, doing it that way, he wouldn't get the upside of the market in some cases. Or look at a different wealth building vehicle that doesn't have the criteria for your height and your height, weight, and health, and put it in that vehicle. And there are other vehicles that
Okay.
he can put his money in that way to save it himself, become self-insured. A lot of people don't know that's an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity too. My dad, he was self-insured. And look at that opportunity. Go straight to the funeral home, pay them directly for 10 years, your policy paid up, you ain't got to worry about it. Like, how you going to be laid to rest? You done already made your plans. Then the second thing is, put it in a vehicle, a different type of vehicle. It may be, for instance, a mutual fund. Now, the tax implications on that is different than if it was a life insurance policy, because it
Okay.
could be tax free with a life insurance policy eventually. But therefore, there could be possibly an annuity that he could apply for in that regard. But there is another vehicle I would make a recommendations to if he did not meet certain criteria and was not able to get coverage. But I may not have all the licenses
So
for that,
Janelle,
so I must have a disclaimer. If I'm not fully licensed in it, I'm going to refer that person to the people who can do the business or who can provide him this resource.
you know what? You are such a hidden gem. You're a hidden
Be
gem. Those
sparkly
who know
tonight.
you are blessed. Those who know you are blessed, and we are able to take advantage of your infinite wisdom and your knowledge and your expertise. But girl, you need your own TV show because people need to hear it from someone like you that gives it to us in layman's terms and is going to give us what the average person does not get. We're still
Yes.
lacking that information around wealth building via insurance and the innovative tools that are available. So, once again, I'm going to ask you to let people know how they can reach you because you are a business, you are in business, and you are doing business. So, how can people reach Janelle Pulley? Talk to them.
Yes. Yes. The wealthygap.info is one of the ways to reach me, but the best way is my phone number. 404 689 8441. 404 689 8441 is the best way to reach me by phone. Text me, call me. I return all text message and I answer all phone calls. And that's the best way to reach me. And you can also go to powerfighterslive.com and put a message through the portal, and I'll respond to that as well.
And
So
Janelle, will
thank
people have access to this podcast after tonight? Because if so, I want to encourage people to share this with some other folks. Have a viewing party, host something where you're not keeping it to yourself, but you are empowering someone else.
Yes.
That is another form of sexy, helping someone else to build and get it. So, Janelle, can people access this
Yes.
after tonight?
Yes, the replay, hashtag replay when you're watching it, the hashtag replay. It will be available on YouTube, on Power Fridays Live, and also on facebook.com/ Power Fridays Live. So there's two places to watch it on my LinkedIn as well. So it's on the Janelle Pulley page on linkedin.com/ J Pulley Agency. That is where you can find it on LinkedIn. So it's going to be it's broadcasting out on my Facebook, on the Facebook page, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube channel. So please hashtag replay when you're watching it again, and do please share, like, and subscribe.
It doesn't get any better than this, folks. There can be no more excuses, right? We can't keep doing sexy the way we've been doing it, right? There's a new level of sexy, and Janelle Pulley is calling it. She's creating it. So I need each and every person to be it.
Yes, level up, be
Any
sexy,
closing
baby.
comments, level up.
So yes, level
It
up
ain't
and be
always about the
sexy.
makeup and the hair and the clothes. Be the
Yes,
ultimate sexy.
the
Have your
ultimate
business in
sexy.
order.
Having your businesses in order
Hmm.
is the ultimate sexy. Yes.
All right. But
Yes,
I do
yes.
like how I feel tonight.
Yes. Makes you feel good. Getting your sexy on. All we were missing was some music. We're gonna have music next
Hey,
week. I
listen,
want to make sure.
we're going to
Yes.
have the music
We're gonna
next
have some
week. All
music
right.
next
We're
week.
going to have the
And
music next week.
I have a really great person that's coming on and joining us next week, and we're gonna keep the conversation going. She said it won't be insurance is sexy, but she gonna know insurance is sexy because she's had something going on in her life, and she's gonna share with us how life insurance is not a death sentence. That's what we're
Mm,
gonna talk. Life insurance. Insurance is sexy, but life insurance is not a death sentence. That's what she's gonna talk with us about next week. So I'm so
mm.
excited to have a special guest next week, and we're gonna keep this Financial Power Fridays live conversation going. It's the month of September, Life Insurance Awareness Month, but we're talking about insurance is sexy, baby. So please, con- share with a friend, get a quote free, have me do the research. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to share with you about the different vehicles, because if you don't qualify or the insurance company says we don't want you, hey, we're going to find somebody that does, and or we're going to make sure that your needs are met, and then you live a purpose filled life.
Come on now. So, for all my lovers out there, make a date. You have access to this podcast after tonight. Get your wine, cuddle up, do whatever you do, but put this on before you put on that music and get sexy with it through insurance. And Janelle
Yes,
Pulley, please keep it
yes,
sexy
and
the right
write
way.
that love letter. Write that love letter with that life insurance policy. That life
Mhm.
insurance policy should be your love letter. Okay.
All right now. Come on now. And if you don't have someone to write it to, find somebody. All right. But Janelle, thank you. It's
Thank
always
you.
wonderful spending my Friday evening with you. I love it. I'm always educated and informed. And again, I just want to remind everyone Janelle Pulley is a business. She's in business and she's doing business. She's a wealth of information. She's a fountain of resource. Please take advantage. Don't just watch and listen, but take advantage, reach out. She's already told you if she's not licensed, she will get you to someone who is licensed in your particular state. There can be no more excuses, folks. The time is ours. It's been my pleasure co hosting with you, Janelle, and I'll
Yes.
see you at the top.
Thank you. And we love you. And know that look in the mirror tonight. and say, I'm sexy. Okay? Have a great evening. Be, do, and have the greatness that you desire because the greatness is in you. Thank you for joining us tonight on Financial Power Fridays Live, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care and be blessed. Thank you, Yolanda. Love you. Enjoy.
Love you too.